I had pretty much forgotten about this piece until I was cleaning out my laptop and I saw a file named Cosmic Slug and I thought, oh, what the ruddy hell is that? It turned out it was this. It was this that you're watching. It was me painting this slug and then that and that. It was a commission. Someone commissioned me to paint a cosmic slug, and that was about all the brief they gave me. I was I had a couple of ideas. I was going to maybe go the like cosmic horror, eldritch horror, Lovecraftian, cyclopean, Cthulhu-esque kind of way. Some like gnarly, unshapen, unspeakable horror out in the midst of space. But instead I did a fat, squishy slug cartoon boy with a gun. It's more fun and funny to paint. Yellow! I made him yellow because, I don't know, I probably stole it from somewhere. Was that in the Max? There was like a big slug guy who was yellow. I probably got it from that. Yellow ochre mostly. With like a bit of burnt umber, I think, just to tone it down a little bit. Mostly just blocking in the shapes first and leaving gaps for the creases in the skin, for those like round folds and the veins in the arms and shit. Obviously drawn with ink first, and then got me old red paint for the underpainting, which in this piece I think quite effectively shines or shows through in a few places, so I'm happy for that. Highlights on the yellow, making the forms more formed as opposed to flat. Speaking of more flat, a brighter yellow for the slug head, which is consequently what I named the tip of my penis. And that stays, as you'll see, basically as it is. It stays as a flat colour. And there's a reason for that. It's not a brilliant reason, but, you know, I'll get to that in a bit. Tried to differentiate the textures a little bit for the little sort of like flappy slug traily bits at his base. Just so it doesn't look like he's the same sort of texture all the way around. But at least a little bit of fucking differentiation in it, I don't know. And then just highlighting the tippy tops just to make those round rolly bits feel a bit more round and rolly, because that's what I want, a roly-poly sluggy wuggy boy. Turquoise! It's one of my favourite colours if I had to pick a favourite colour, which I don't have to, so I'll say it's not. Who cares? Fuck you. For an underlighting, double lighting, underglow, reflected light. See that big shape next to him on the right is going to be a planet, and that's going to be like a turquoise like planet. So it's going to be like a glow, like an interstellar, solar, lunar, planetary glow coming off the planet, glowing on his body, sort of forming the opposite side of the curves of the arm and the rolls of the body to accentuate those forms, which I think, especially in the arm, really does work. You can see it gives a lot more sort of dimension to the form of the arm and a little bit to the body, and I think it will become more apparent sort of as I finish it up. The gun fucking changed all of a sudden out of nowhere. I was going to give him a little Glock, what, 17, 19, I don't know. Oh look, turquoise, for that's where the planet's going behind his helmet. That'll, because he's got a space helmet, you'll see. But then I thought rather than a Glock, it would make sense to give him more of a space blaster. I didn't really put any thought and effort into the design of that blaster. Oh look, the teeth, raw umber and white, and then a couple of layers of that highlighted up for the teeth. I think because I suddenly had the idea to do the space age gun on the fly. I came up with the idea there and then, and the design of it. So not much thought's gone into it, and I think that shows. It looks a bit random and a bit odd, but I think maybe I'm trying to just use more like iconography. So rather than have like an in-depth like a lore behind the gun, and a reason for it being. It's just a basic icon denoting this is a space gun, and that's all you need. Although you could argue that since this is a single painting of a single character with not a great deal going on detail wise, that every part of detail counts, and therefore maybe I should put more effort into it. But I'm a lazy shitlord, so never mind, eh? Black for the background, because it's the vacuum of space. I chose, you'll see as it finishes, I chose not to put any stars in this in the background of this piece because I want it to be quite vacant. What's that? Am I painting a load of poo? It looks like he's doing space poos, doesn't it? Sploopy space slug shits out in space. But I'm not. It's like slime. See, because he's got a slime trail in it because he's a slug. And so I tried to make them kind of slimy and like blobular and globular because of the vacuum of space. So there's zero gravities. Whoa! Fuck happened there? Evidently I didn't record part of it. I did the planet, painted that in. I finished up the slime. I was really happy with the slime. I think I got good dimension and shine to that. I think it looks quite globular and blobular, as was my aim. Using a ballpoint pen for the sort of outlines and hatchings and shadows and bits. Because, but fuck you, I wanted to. That's what I felt like. When I pictured this piece in my head, I pictured there not being broad brush strokes for those sort of lines and dashes and blobs and shit. I pictured them being a bit more finer and cross-hatched with like a pen, and so I did that. And you can see I left the interior of his helmet very plain because I wanted it to have to be its own, not ecosystem, but I wanted the inside of its helmet to look visibly different to the outside. I could have done it like a different colour maybe, but I'm not sure. Maybe that would have worked better. But I thought the flat colours looked good because then it just looks like he's got a bright helmet, so the contrast is up or whatever. I probably could have done more. But like I said, I'm a lazy sod. So that's it. That's the painting. Go away.